So good day again, students. So we are now in our module 4 in practical research 2. So I hope you learned something in our previous discussion in modules, especially in module 3, which is about the different kinds of variables, because this topic is very important. This is the start already of how you will uh, frame your research. Okay, so I hope you recall those different types of variables: the nominal, ordinal, ratio, and interval. And the types of variables, we have the independent variable, dependent, and we have the intervening and the control variables. So I hope you also have your self-study about it, because you will need it in framing your research questions in our and also in our research title later in the next module. Okay, so get familiar with those terms, especially that those are really needed in your research. Okay, so this module talks about designing research useful in daily life. So why do we need to design a research? Okay, so it's because it must be useful, especially today or this time. We have this COVID pandemic. So most of the researchers, especially those in the field of medicine, are doing their research to find cure against this virus. Okay, so that is one of the purpose why we conduct research. Okay, so we design research that would be useful, or uh, the humankind will benefit from it. Okay, so in this module, so we will discuss about. So you will need to know. Okay, so at the end of this module, we are expected to design a research useful in daily life. Okay, so I hope you already have in mind uh, the topics of interest that you would like to have in your study. Okay, so make sure in conducting research also you must have a good interest to it. Okay, so do not choose a topic which you think is difficult for you. Okay. Okay, so let's start. To have a warm-up exercise. Let's have this again. What I know. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Let's have a cheer first. Okay. Directions. Read the following sentences carefully. Circle the letter of the best answer. Number 1. Research affects society and the lives of each one of us each day of our lives. A. True. B. False. C. Sometimes false. D. None of the above. Again, research affects society and the lives of each one of us each day of our life. A. True. B. False. C. Sometimes false. D. None of the above. Okay, correct. Correct answer is A. True. Okay, number 2. Research can be a key to a better life, health, individual, national, and global prosperity and well-being. A. True. B. False. C. Sometimes false. D. None of the above. Okay, correct. The answer is letter A. True. Okay, number 3. Research leads to discoveries. A. True. B. False. C. Sometimes false. D. None of the above. Okay, correct. It's letter A. Very good. Okay, number 4. Research leads to the acquisition of knowledge. A, true. B, false. C, sometimes false. D, none of the above. Okay, correct. The answer is letter A, true. Okay, number 5. Research is a product of the imagination of the researcher that results can be manipulated. A, true. B, false. C, sometimes false. D, none of the above. Okay, correct. The answer is letter A, true. Okay, number 6. What do the different branches of knowledge or discipline, corporations, government organization, or NGOs do to search for answers to phenomena? A, gimmick. B, research. C, reflection. D, craft questionnaire. Okay, correct. Answer is letter B, the research. Okay, so most of the organization conduct this. So, okay, let's have number 7. No organization, big or small, will approve, implement any program or action without a well-done research backed up by a valid and reliable blank from a research. A, imagination. B, questionnaire. C, findings. D, hypothesis. Okay, correct. Letter C, findings. Okay, number 8. Dedicating our lives to research means making study and experiment our profession. These activities lead to the acquisition of blank. A, skills. B, knowledge. C, theories. D, techniques. Okay, correct. Letter B, knowledge. Okay, number 9. Research is finding blank or solves the real world phenomena. A, results. B, techniques. C, theories. D, answers. Okay, correct answer is letter B, questions. Okay, so I hope you got the correct answers in most of the exercises. Okay, let's go to number 11. What does a researcher need to consider when designing a research project that will be conducted to the community where he or she belongs, to the bigger community, the Philippines, Asia, and the world? A, usefulness. B, applicability. C, viability. D, validity. Okay, correct. It's letter A, usefulness. Okay, number 12. Research leads to an expansion of knowledge and blank of new medical treatment and cures. A, inquiry. B, questions. C, discoveries. D, validity. Okay, correct. Letter C, discoveries. Okay, number 13. Research leads to blank in agriculture, such as the introduction of high-yield and drought-resistant varieties. A, assumptions. B, reliability. C, theories. D, breakthrough. Okay, correct. It's letter D, breakthrough. Okay, number 14. Research is closely connected to blank. A, regression. B, reversion. C, retrogression. D, Progress. Okay, correct. Letter D. Progress. Okay, last number 15. What particular field is concerned if the research is about distant learning delivery mode? A. Health. B. Business. C. Communication. D. Education. Okay, correct. Letter D. Education. Okay, what's in? So A. Remembering the past. This is to review you about the different variables and their uses. So fill in the table with the data needed. Okay, so this is our lesson in the previous module. So in module 3, okay, I want you to fill this table here. Okay, so you submit your responses to me in my email account. I will flash on the screen. Okay, or you can answer on the separate sheet of paper. Okay. Letter A, building a connection. So research is connected with development. Why? To answer this question, you may copy the figure below and separate sheet of paper for you to work on. You are going to write at least 3 answers to the questions. You may add more circles if you want. Okay, so this is the circle. So this is the question. Why is research connected with development? So I have put it here these 3 circles. So if you have 3 or more answers, you can add another circle here. Okay? Okay, let's go to what's new. So answer the queries. Why do you think the following programs or actions were implemented by the government? Answer the questions by completing the sentences below. A. Pantawid Pampamilyang Pilipino Program or the PORPIS. B. Disaster Risk Reduction Management. C. General Reduction Quarantine. General Community Quarantine for the COVID-19. D. Total lockdown of COVID-19 related. Okay? So you supply your answers here. A, B, C. So you just follow this. So you can retype this in the Microsoft Word. Or you can write your answers on the sheet of paper. Okay? So now we will go to our lesson proper. So designing a research useful in daily life. Okay, what is it? The government have some important reasons for why implementing the 4Ps, DRM, GCQ, and total lockdown. So these reasons came out because of research. So put that in mind. So why we need to wear masks, face shields today? It's because of research. Okay. In designing research, the researcher needs to consider the usefulness of research projects to be conducted to the community where he or she belongs. The government community, and the bigger community, the Philippines, Asia, and the world. In deciding on a research topic, the researcher should see to it that the research project would be worth the planning, execution of plans, resources in time, manpower, and the budget. So take note of this. So later when you conduct your study, so this would be your constraints to look at. So you should have the planning first. Okay, so you do not conduct research without proper planning because it's a total waste of time and money on your part. Okay, then execution of plans. Okay, so here. So you must have a procedures to follow, okay, or set up timeline, okay. So this is very important in research because it will guide you in your study. So you will not be behind deadline, especially if it already the submission of your proposal or questionnaire, okay. Next, okay, manpower. So you have manpower in your study, okay, or you have that physical have that capability to conduct the study. Okay, so absolutely, in this time, you cannot have a physical contact or you have a physical survey. You will just have a virtual survey using Google Forms. Okay, then the budget. Okay, so as I said earlier, so in our first module, the research have this constraint, especially in quantity. You must have a budget because when reproducing the questionnaires, it's very expensive. Okay? So, lucky for you in this time because we have only a virtual survey, so you will not cost in the reproduction of your questionnaire. Okay? Okay, so those are the constraints to consider. Okay, so I hope you bear that in mind. So, especially in planning your research. Okay, so to avoid those hassles later, especially in going over your research because you will going back, change again your title, find another topic. Okay, so you must plan and put it in mind also that it must be your interest. So you choose a topic that interests you. Okay, to avoid choosing those topics that which is very complicated. Okay. Okay. Research is closely connected with development. The result, findings of the studies also affect society and the lives of each one of us. So research is very vital to our everyday decision making. Okay, so I think so you're familiar with this. Diba? So all research, especially in the field of science, are very important to us. Especially today, so most of the scientists are conducting study to find the cure or the vaccine for the COVID-19. Okay, so that is very essential to us because it will help us, especially in our situation today. So we cannot go out without wearing a mask, face shield. It's very inconvenient. Okay, so I think you feel it also. Okay, so wearing mask all the time in public places. You cannot go to beach because you might be infected to the mall. Okay, especially the teenagers below 18. So they are forbidden to go out in their respective houses. Okay, so research really is very vital. Okay, examples. Research leads to expansion of knowledge and discoveries of new medical treatment and cures. So this is what I said earlier. Okay. It leads to breakthrough in agriculture such as the reduction of high yield and drought resistant varieties. Okay, so this is common in Department of Agriculture, especially in rice production. So they need to conduct study because especially in our country, we are openly visited by typhoons, flash floods, etc. Okay, so the Department of Agriculture is conducting a study, okay, to make the rice resistant, especially in drought. Okay, so it's very important to us because if they cannot find knowledge about this, so we will have a rice shortage. Okay, and number 3, in business, companies conduct surveys and feasibility studies to find out the needs of the community. Okay, so I think you encounter this in the malls. So they conduct research surveys, okay, like in Google Forms, etc. Okay. Okay, let's have this. What's more? So activity 1, what and how. Fill in the table by answering the questions. Write at least one entry for each column. So what will be some of the possible results of researches about COVID-19 vaccine? Number 2, how will the results be beneficial to people? Okay, so fill in this table with what and how. Okay, and activity 2, what and why. Directions, fill in the table by answering the questions. So what will be some of the possible results of the researches about the introduction of high-yield and drought-resistant variety of palay? Number 2, why will people benefit from the research? Okay, so I want you to answer this activity 1 and 2. Okay, this is a table, so you write your answers here, what and why again. And activity 3, fill in a table by answering the questions. What will be some of the possible results of surveys about the needs of the community during the total lockdown due to COVID-19? Then number 2, who will benefit from the surveys? Okay, so again, this is a table, fill this up. Then next, what I have learned. Answer the questions by filling the diagram. Write one sentence for each rectangle. Why should researchers design their research to be useful in daily life? Okay, so you continue this diagram. So if you have more answers, you can add more rectangle. Okay, then what can I do? Conduct a survey about your family's basic needs during the COVID-19 outbreak by asking all the members of your family. Be able to rank your family's basic needs, then answer the questions below. What is the importance of knowing your family's basic needs during the outbreak of COVID-19? Okay, so I think you can relate with this because you personally experienced this during the ECQ period. Okay. Okay, this is our assessment. So you answer this. This is your test in this module. So listed are different topics that can be used to design research that is useful to our daily life. Choose the letter of the field that the listed topics belong. Choose the letter of your answer and write them on a separate sheet. Okay? So we have here business, health, education, communication, and politics. Okay? So you choose sample. Number 1, vegetarianism. What do you think this topic? Okay? What field does it belong? Is it in business, health, education, communication, or politics? Okay? Then we have here additional activities. Explain and answer the question below. What is the importance of designing research useful in daily life? Answer the questions by writing a 5-paragraph composition. Okay? So take note of this. Okay? So for more questions or clarifications about our topic, okay, so you can just have your personal message to me. Okay, if you have more clarifications, or you can leave comments in our Facebook group and also in our Edmudo. Okay, so keep in touch for the next module recording natin. Okay, so have a nice day.